Hi, this is Cao Song Huang of the Air Force Research Laboratory of the United States. I present observations of global ionospheric current systems caused by multiple solar wind and magnetospheric processes, including penetration electric fields, solar wind pressure impulses, magnetospheric substorms, and ultra-low frequency waves. These processes all change the ionospheric, electric field, and ionospheric current systems. This study represents the first systematic analysis of ionospheric current system caused by the four processes in the solar wind and the magnetosphere. We use magnetic field data measured by global magnetometer networks to derive atmospheric equivalent disturbances currents. The background current system is removed, so the derived current system is the disturbances current system. For each of the drivers in the solar wind or in the magnetosphere, we have analyzed two or more cases of the atmospheric current systems. But we do not show all examples in this presentation. We will compare the similarities and the differences among these current systems and to examine the time scale for establishment of the atmospheric current system. The first example of the atmospheric current system is related to penetration electric fields caused by IMF southward turning and northward turning. The equatorial vertical arm drifts measured by the Chickamauga radar are increased in the upward direction during southward IMF and decreased during northward IMF, indicating the occurrence of penetration and shielding electric fields. Ground magnetometers measured similar variations in the magnetic field. The magnetic perturbations and atmospheric currents in response to penetration and shielding electric fields are shown on the right columns. The current system is characterized by a large current vortex in the day side and evening sector, and a smaller one in the midnight dawn sector. The polarity of the current vortices is reversed for southward and northward IMF. Two more examples of atmospheric current system caused by penetrating electric fields are presented in this slide. The current system is the same as the previous one, with a large current vortex in the dayside and evening sector, and a smaller one in the midnight and dawn sector. For southward IMF, the current vortex in the dayside and evening sector is counterclockwise, and the current vortex in the midnight dawn sector is clockwise. For northward IMF, the current distribution is similar, but the polarity of the current vortices is reversed. This slide shows the atmospheric current system caused by the onset and expansion phase of magnetospheric substorms. Substorm onset is identified from sudden increase in the proton flux injection, measured by two geosynchronous satellites. The two dotted vertical lines denote 5 and 20 minutes since the substorm onset. The global magnetic perturbations and current distributions at this time are presented on the right side. The current system caused by substorm onset is characterized by a large counterclockwise current vortex in the dayside and evening sector, and a smaller clockwise current vortex in the midnight dawn sector. This current system remains stable for at least 20 minutes. This slide shows the atmospheric current system caused by a sudden increase in the solar wind dynamic pressure. The sudden increase of the magnetic field is the response to the solar wind pressure enhancement. The two dotted vertical lines denote 5 and 20 minutes since the magnetic impulse. The global magnetic perturbations and the current distributions are presented on the right side. The current system caused by the solar wind pressure impulse is characterized by a dominant counterclockwise current vortex at middle and low latitude and a much smaller clockwise vortex at high latitudes. This current system remains stable for at least 20 minutes. In this slide, the solar wind pressure data and ionospheric currents are shown at every minute. The four dotted vertical lines in the upper left panel denote the geomagnetic field on the day side and the night side at 1951, 1952, 1953, and 1954 UT. The magnetic field and the currents at 1952 are taken to be zero. The ionospheric currents at 1951, 1 minute before the solar wind pressure impulse, are mostly clockwise at middle and low latitudes. A new current system is established within 1 minute after the solar wind pressure impulse. In the right side two columns, the current system is plotted at every 3 minutes. This current system remains very stable for 20 minutes or longer. Besides a sudden enhancement in solar wind pressure, a sudden decrease in the solar wind pressure also causes the redistribution of ionospheric currents. The left two columns show a sudden decrease in solar wind pressure caused a sudden decrease in the geomagnetic field. The global ionospheric currents at 5 and 20 minutes after the solar wind pressure decrease are presented on the right two columns. The current system consists of a dominant clockwise current vortex at middle and low latitude, and a much smaller counterclockwise vortex at high latitudes. This current system is very similar to the one caused by a sudden enhancement in the solar wind pressure, but the polarity of the current vortices is reversed. The last category of the ionospheric current system is the one caused by PC5 pulsations. The PC5 pulsation occurs globally, and the period of the pulsation is about 10 minutes. The yellow and blue vertical lines in the left two columns denote a peak and a valley of the PC5 pulsations. The global magnetic perturbations and currents are shown in the right two columns. The current system is characterized by a dominant current vortex at middle and low latitudes and a much smaller vortex at high latitudes. Polarity of the current vortices is reversed at PC5 pulsations, at a PC5 pulsation peak and valley. This slide shows the variation of the amplitude of magnetic perturbations with latitude for different processes. The blue and the red dots denote two cases for each category. The large magnetic field perturbations occur at auroral latitudes, indicating the ionospheric source of global magnetic disturbances is located at the equatorial latitude, at the auroral latitudes. The magnetic perturbations are also enhanced over the magnetic equator, which is caused by equatorial cooling effect. The latitudinal distribution of the magnetic perturbations are similar for the four processes. This suggests the transmission of electromagnetic fields in the ionosphere and the establishment of ionospheric currents have a similar mechanism. This slide shows illustrations of ionospheric current system caused by penetration electric fields and the substorm expansion phase. The current patterns are based on observations presented in the previous slides. The left figure shows the current system caused by penetration electric fields and the southward MF and by the expansion phase of magnetospheric substorms. The right figure shows the current system caused by shielding electric fields and the northward MF. The current system causes a large current vortex in the day side and the evening sector, and a smaller one in the midnight dawn sector. The polarity of the current vortices is reversed for southward and northward MF. This slide shows illustrations of ionospheric current systems caused by sudden changes in the solar wind pressure and by PC5 pulsations. The left figure shows the current system caused by a sudden enhancement in the solar wind pressure and at the peak of PC5 pulsations. The right figure shows the current system caused by a sudden decrease in the solar wind pressure and at the valley of PC5 pulsations. The current system is characterized by a dominant current vortex at middle and low latitudes and a much smaller vortex at high latitudes. The polarity of the current vortices is reversed for solar wind pressure enhancement and decrease, and for PC5 pulsation peaks and valley. We derive the following conclusions from observations. The ionospheric currents, the equivalent disturbances current caused by MF southward turning is characterized by a large counterclockwise vortex in the dayside and the evening sector and a relatively small clockwise vortex in the midnight dawn sector. The current system following MF northward turning is nearly the same as the one for MF southward turning, but the polarity of the current vortices is reversed. The current disturbances the equivalent disturbances current system caused by the onset of magnetospheric substorms is characterized by a large counterclockwise vortex in the dayside and the evening sector and a relatively small clockwise vortex in the midnight dawn sector. The equivalent current system caused by a sudden enhancement in solar wind pressure is characterized by a large single counterclockwise vortex covering all longitude local times at middle and low latitude and a very small clockwise vortex above 60 degrees magnetic latitude. The current pattern caused by a sudden drop in solar wind pressure is similar to the one caused by a solar wind pressure enhancement, but the polarity of the current vortices is reversed. The equivalent disturbances current system caused by PC5 pulsation is very similar to that caused by a sudden change in solar wind pressure. Thank you for your attention.